where are you from originally? We're just starting it right up here.
Jersey.
Scott Chaplain, Ted Jones World. What's up, kid?
How are you?
Good to see you, man. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Jersey. Where are you from?
I was born in New Brunswick. Spent
okay, cool.
6 weeks there.
No shit.
And then moved to, that might be my phone. And then moved to Manhattan. My parents both got jobs here.
Damn.
I've been here ever since, dude.
Hot dog. Man, I'm holding this. I'm going to keep moving.
You know what? We're
this.
just going to get you. We're going to get you a new
I
mic
like
so
it
you
like
can
this.
hold it.
Until my arm gets tired, we're fine.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, we'll see how much of this intro we cut out, but
Yeah, I'm fine.
you know, it's great. Scott, what's up,
I
man?
understand. What's up,
So you're
man? How are
from
you?
New Jersey. What part of New Jersey?
So, Pequannock, New Jersey. It's Morris County, North Jersey.
I was
45
born,
minutes from Manhattan, I guess. 40, 45.
Okay, I was born in the New Brunswick Hospital.
Yeah, okay. So New Brunswick is where I started open mics, I guess, because of Stress Factory. Have you been back?
I went to the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, but no, I really have not spent much time in New Jersey
you got to do the
doing
Stress
any
Factory
sort of
one,
comedy
man.
stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, I don't know how it is now. I mean, you know, the weekends are cool, but I don't know how otherwise how it is. My first 2 years of comedy in Jersey, I refused to go to the city, which some guys still do. There's like guys who work pasta dinners who are like 50 in Jersey who don't come to the city because it serves them no real purpose. What are they going to do?
It's just good money for them to do like those.
I mean, I don't know about good, but it's like it's money and there's no worry of like, you know, a career, competition. It's just they make their money. That's the career. They don't have to beat themselves up over anything because they're in control of it. You know, you move to a city, everything becomes scary and, you know, people start pointing needles in you and shit. But out there, you could just kind of big fish, small pond. That's what they say.
Yeah,
right?
totally. And do you go to college in New Jersey as well?
So I went to college at Montclair and then like a year and a half in, I dropped out. Mike Racine, Baron Vaughn, I don't know if you know who he is, and Andy Haynes came and did a show. And I was on the show too. And then like the three of them were like, yeah, don't go to school if you're going to do comedy.
Oh, this is during college. They came like for a night.
And I was on the show with them. I already had known Racine and Andy. And so I talked to them, you know, we did the show. I'm not realizing they're just probably 24 at the time, you know?
Really?
And so I was like 19 and it was 3 New York City guys telling me, yeah, drop out of school and move to the city. So I did. I dropped out like a week later.
Were you?
And then I moved to the city a week after that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Were you super into comedy though before you went to
My
Montclair?
whole life, yeah. It's like a little kid. You too, right? Little kid.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was more of like the performing, whatever that meant. Whether
Of course,
it's stand-up, the plays, improv, and then that's kind
you
of
did
how
like
it's been.
summer theater when you were growing up?
Yeah, I did a lot of
summer theater.
Yeah, I did
dude.
a lot of like acting and like when I was growing up, and I went to a specialized high school actually for actors, singers, dancers, and
No
models.
shit.
Are you familiar with LaGuardia?
At the airport.
Well, there's a LaGuardia High School that's for like
Okay,
performers.
that makes sense.
You try out. I didn't go to that school, but like
Okay.
that's the kind of genre it was.
Okay.
So it was for actors, singers, dancers, models, athletes. I was a tennis player. And
Hot dog.
any time that I needed to like skip a Friday to go play a tournament in Texas, they would send me the homework. I could take the test when I got back on Monday. So it was like specialized around kids with
Like a mini
younger
celebrity
talent.
schedule. Yeah.
Sure. It was something that like at the time I really didn't take, I'd say, as much advantage of as I would have liked to looking back, just because I was like 14 years old. I didn't know anything.
Yeah, you're now
15.
looking at it like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
I had
this
so much
cost me so much
opportunity.
money now. Like you
Yeah,
weren't
dude.
thinking about
Well, my parents, not
the
me at
flight
the
to the
time.
airport. You know?
Yeah. But just growing up in that environment, it just like allowed me to be creative. I met so many creative people, and then like seeing the actors, the dancers, people performing all the time. I was like, okay, me playing tennis, I'm performing, but not as how I actually want to be seen. You know,
Sure,
like I want to be on
sure.
stage doing the improv stand up and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think most comics are afraid to admit, or they just don't remember that we all want to do comedy because we liked silly musicals as a kid or a theater thing. You know, that's what we were drawn into initially. Everybody acts like they forget that, you know. Oh, I love Patrice, I love Burr, I love Louis, you know. Yeah, me too, but come on, you liked Jim Carrey and you fucking, you know, and you slicked your hair back and stuck your tongue out silly. You know what I mean? Like you acted silly. You were a kid. And that's what made you realize you were funny. And then you tightened that funny as you got older, you know, and made it fucking slicker and cooler. But we were all just drama kids, kind of, even if we didn't take if we didn't have the privilege of taking a drama class, we were definitely being silly in class, and nobody likes to admit that anymore, I think.
Yeah, would you play sports?
Like, I was a hard ass. I talk shit, and that's where my comedic ability comes from being the coolest guy in the room. It's like, no, it's because you're silly, and you can become the coolest guy in the room by being silly, and we all forget that.
You tighten it up.
Yeah.
Sports in high school, though?
Sports? No, I didn't do shit, dude. I didn't do anything. High school? No. I wasn't, like, physically capable of, like, moving around like that, I think,
Going to Montclair, though, what were your thoughts? Just, like, getting...
No, I just wanted to do comedy. I was just like, I really kind of think I knew I was going to drop out, but you don't know what that means. And so you go anyway, you don't understand. Like, you go, I know I want to do comedy. And so then I remember I went to school for political science. And I was like, because I'll know, like, Daily Show with Jon Stewart was huge, and right, it was like at the time where it was like more people look to Jon Stewart than the news, and I was like, oh, that matters then. So I should be I should study political science. I would know things, and I just hated it, and I would stop going to school.
Was it appeasing your parents a little bit to go to school, or did they not really?
My
care?
mother, for sure. It's weird because my dad was like the one that I was afraid of my whole life, but when I was dropping out, he was the first. I was way more comfortable telling my dad than my mom.
What did your parents do professionally, or what do they do?
My dad was a cop, and my mom, before she was just, a stay-at-home mom, but before she had us, she worked in, I don't even know what you call it, but like when you die, when you get like killed or hit by a train or whatever, she would be in like the room with people, like
morgue?
I think she would do the fingerprints of dead bodies. Yeah, it's like a morgue, but it's like more so in terms of crime. I guess it's still a morgue, right? But I know it involved the sheriff's department. Yeah.
What were your first memories of comedy, though, and being like, I should be going into New York City? Well, I guess you saying that you should go into New York City didn't happen later. It didn't happen until later.
Yeah, no, but I knew I had to. I mean, I started when I was 17. I was like writing jokes since I was like 14, probably,
Were you the class clown?
I guess, yeah, I was funny in school for sure. I mean, you have to define class clown. Like, I got in arguments with teachers a lot, I guess, like trying to like fuck around in that way, but I wasn't like, I don't think I was too silly in class necessarily.
I think one specific instance brings me back, like when the teacher was like, this will become second nature to you guys. And then I raised my hand. You talk about something silly or messing with the teacher. I'm like, what's first nature? And he got so pissed.
Yeah, I would probably say clever. Shit like that. Yeah, I think I liked like jabbing. Yeah, I think jabbing was fun. I liked doing that shit. I loved history class. I liked like arguing history by just like making up
debates and stuff.
Yeah, I love debating a teacher in like a funny way, because how do you argue with the person being funny? Teachers don't know, because teachers are just like 25-year-old kids.
Yeah, that's
you don't know it at the time, but you're like destroying a child. You're just destroying another child.
Yeah, and I'm just I'd be upset if like a 13 or 14-year-old kid was like sunning me, and I'm 25 years old in class. Yeah. Like, what shit? Was he right about that
like
history
getting emotional? Like, you lose already.
Yeah, dude. So in Jersey, you spend a lot of time going to malls as a kid?
Yeah, there's Willowbrook Mall was my mall.
As that sounds.
Yeah, is that a Jersey thing? I feel like it's America now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I think being from New York, the New Jersey malls are the
interesting. Well, especially because in New York, you guys don't have malls, man. And I get it, obviously. Well, you do have Manhattan Mall, which it's just
the old place.
It's just because there's an escalator there, and so they call it a mall. But
high ceiling.
Yeah, it's not really a mall. But the city is a mall. That's why. So you live in a mall. I go to the mall, but Manhattan is a fucking mall, right? Especially Times Square, right up the road. It's just an advertisement, right? That's insane.
Yeah, Times Square. I find myself liking walking through Times Square here and there.
Yeah,
just to get like a big dopamine rush. But then again, I just look on my phone right after that.
I know.
And scroll through the freaking Instagram or TikTok, dude.
I always like to put Times Square into perspective. Where I go, there are sick people in the world who their final wish is this. And even if it wasn't the right wish, and if it's like not smart at all, it is somebody's dream. I like to do that a lot. Like anytime I'm somewhere, I go, this was their dying wish, Anytime I'm at like an event, I'm like, this isn't fun. I'm like, there's a sick kid also here who this is the last thing he wanted to do, whatever baseball game you're at or where you're like, I want to fucking leave early.
So you think about
traffic
it professionally
sucks.
too?
Yeah, and then I go, how many sick kids are currently in my area because they asked to be there? It's more, especially in Manhattan, it's more often than not. I mean, how many people just want to see where you got to live? That's amazing.
What was your high school experience like?
I liked it. I think I was popular enough if you ask enough kids, you know. I hope I was nice. I had a girlfriend the whole time. I worry that, you know, I go, oh, was I a bully? Because I was so quick to like try to zing a person or correct, you know, like you see the flaw in an idea, right, as a comic, and so you go, oh, what did I do this thing? But it's just you're 15 and someone else is 15, and so it's like, that's more harassment than comedy, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I often think back to like hanging out at parties, like, oh, I had so much fun talking at the tables at parties, and then I go like, was I just strong-holding people, you know, like young minds, just because I had comedian ideas behind my brain. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Well, was there?
Is that like comedians have this thing in them, and now we're all like grown enough to be intelligent. But when you grow up loving comedy, you just regurgitate what like George Carlin said or Bill Hicks. So you're just a kid regurgitating some shit. You're not the person with the ideas. So I often look back and I go like, was I hilarious or was I fucking annoying?
Well, was there a reason why you
I was probably hilarious.
started
I'm being
like
hypercritical
writing
right now.
jokes though so early and then getting on stage so early? Because it's very rare to hear a comic start at 17, 18. Obviously there are, there are people,
yeah.
but I mean to do that consistently at that age.
Yeah, I think it was just like, it was the only thing I ever wanted to do. And then you like movies growing up, and movies make you think that life is this thing you go chase, right? And so you do it. I think that's what it was. I think I was like heavily influenced by media as a kid, and that made me want to go out and do something.
Do you have anybody that you looked up to make you start doing comedy? Or
I mean, I remember like, you know, like I did say, oh, you know, people like Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler. That's like what a young kid in the 90s you first like, you know. But I do remember seeing Bring the Pain, and that's fucking 96, and I was 6 or 7 or whatever, you know, and loving that. And I loved Chris Rock. I remember by the time I was 12, I had my mom buy me like the Richard Pryor anthology on CD and shit, you know. So I cared. I don't know why. I like Dane Cook. I like 11, you know, you get the Dane Cook CDs, and I don't know why I liked it.
Did you see any of those shows in like Madison Square Garden or come to the city and you were like, yeah,
I saw Louis at the Garden, you know. The first show I ever saw, I was like 16, and I saw an Opie and Anthony Traveling Virus Tour show. They did it at PNC, and it was like Patrice, Louis, Robert Kelly, I think Jim Belushi. It was just stacked, you know. It was like amazing. But I had already wanted to do comedy at that point. Or I had started. I didn't start because I had a girlfriend in high school, and then I started senior year like a few weeks after we broke up, I think. Because that was like because you're in a movie, and so you got to go, that's all I needed,
that's
you
all
know?
you needed.
That's all you needed. I was waiting for that movie moment to start a thing.
You love New York?
I like it. I like it a whole lot. I'm not anti-New York. I'm not anti-anywhere in the country necessarily.
Well, you spent some time touring though, no?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I've been a lot of places. Out of all the places, I think I like New York one of the most for sure. Yeah. I mean, I remember being in like 6th grade, because you start taking the bus young to New York just cause with your friends, and you just roam around, you know?
Did you do field trips too?
Well, field trips for sure, yeah. But just with your friends, you like hop on a bus and come to the city.
Right.
You go to the mall, literally. We go to the mall, hop on a bus, and come to the city in like middle school.
Newport Mall, maybe.
And I remember always, you know, as a child, you go, oh, New York. And then coming here in like 8th grade, and this guy being like, hey, you guys want to come to the top of the Empire State Building? And we're like, yeah, we're interested. And he's like, where are you from? And we were like, Jersey. And he was like, oh, you're not tourists. Get out of here. And he just like dropped the facade and walked away. And I was like, oh, we're New Yorkers.
Don't they get commission off those?
It's cool. I mean, I
maybe
don't
now
know.
They do. Maybe back then they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they. I don't know what it was, but I remember like in that moment going, oh, there is something. There is a connection between us. Where like every time I'm here, I don't feel like I haven't been here my whole life. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because I feel like
I've always seen the skyline. 9/11, I got to see the skyline like that later that afternoon. You know, my sisters, we drove up to a hill and we watched the smoke, you know.
Was that like West New York, that hill?
Well, no, gosh, where is that? That in high school, we would just kiss there. It's certainly not West New York. I mean, it's far. Like we saw it from a distance. Garrow Mountain, though. No. So yeah, not too far.
Because I remember, being from New Jersey and telling people, like people who grew up in New York, it was so foreign to them being like, oh, Jersey. And then when you tell somebody in Jersey that you grew up in New York, they would consider it like, oh, we're super close to New York. Or then when you people who maybe it's sleepaway camp, I'd ask them where they're from, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like I'm super close to the city, or it would be like proximity to the city, something like that.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, especially you learn when you do move here. Like I moved to Brooklyn and shit. It's like, it's all this. It's farther.
But you moved away. You moved back to Jersey City.
Oh yeah, back to Jersey City. Yeah, because it's closer than everywhere.
You didn't like Brooklyn?
I'm closer to Manhattan than parts of Manhattan. Like legit. Like, very legitimately.
The PATH train is insane.
The PATH train gets me to nobody knows about it. So nobody fucking rides it. And yeah, at night it could be annoying waiting for it.
Okay.
But it hits every single club that I go to, you know, and then, okay, sure, sometimes I have to walk a little. Like, I barely take any other train because I just don't like to.
It stops at 34th Street, correct?
Yeah, it stops at 33rd.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe 34th. No, I think it's 33rd.
I think you're right. Strangely. And then it goes like Christopher Street, 9th Street,
Christopher 9th, 14th, 24th, 33rd. Yeah. Where else do you have to go, really? Uptown, stand-up New York, that's it.
Do you think that the reason more people, maybe like comics wise, wouldn't move to Jersey City is because of that late night?
I also think it's also the movie, right? Like you go, you move to New York and you pursue the dream. You don't move to New Jersey and then go into New York City every night. Everyone's just wasting their money because, you know, we got to write our book.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the difference in price between...
Jersey City's also super expensive for a lot of people. We're just super lucky and, you know...
Well, but that's also because you don't live right next to the stop that's in Manhattan. Like if you think about when people go to Williamsburg, if they live on the Bedford Avenue stop, super expensive. Maybe if you go like 2 or 3 stops in, it's less expensive. But if you go 2 to 3 stops in Jersey City, it's like way more inexpensive than in Brooklyn.
Valid. Yeah, that makes sense.
But why did you leave Brooklyn?
Well, I'm from Jersey, you know. Oh, but why did I leave Brooklyn in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck did I leave Brooklyn? That's okay.
So how long were you there for?
I was there for 4 years, maybe 3-4 years. It wasn't too long, you know. I never identified as like being a part of, you know, I rode the G train the whole time. It's like the worst train in the entire city. I have nothing but bad memories. Really? You know, aside from like the fun you have with your friends, the living there, it was not fun. I hated the commute. I hated the potential confrontation at any moment on the train. I didn't like it.
Well, did you move in with comics?
Yeah, I did. New Jersey comic and like 3 of his friends. I think it was like 5 bedrooms, some brownstone. It was a blast for that reason. But, you know, Jersey, man, it's just in and out. Everybody's moving Jersey City. Everybody's doing it.
You think?
Oh, yeah, dude. I've talked to the comics. They know.
Where in Jersey City, though?
If he hasn't already, he moved there. Zach, Amico. I run in the comics every day. Soder just moved to Hoboken. It's time, baby. Brooklyn's done. You know that already. You know that your whole life. You're from Manhattan.
Even going to Bushwick now, bro. Like a $2,500 one bedroom in Bushwick.
That's the other thing. Everybody knows this. The dream is to live in Manhattan, and then you live anywhere else just because you have to. But the dream is Manhattan. Anybody who says anything, they're lying. They've confused the dream. That's not the dream. The dream is Manhattan, and that's where you work, and that's where you do your shit. Brooklyn stinks. Queens. Astoria is nice. Like, it's nice.
Ask about Astoria. And a lot of comics there.
Yeah, and life can be nice places. But the dream was Manhattan, and it's always Manhattan. And we were all so excited when everybody started leaving during COVID. We thought it was our time.
New York is dead.
And then everyone came back, and then it was more expensive.
Well, what happened in
Wealthier
COVID?
people returned,
were
right?
you living in Brooklyn during COVID?
No, Jersey City. I've been in Jersey City for a while now. 5 years? Yeah, something like that.
How did COVID look for you? Like, did you have anything in the pipeline that really messed you up?
No. COVID was a thing. I think like a year before COVID, I was like starting to lose it. And now COVID is like, people go, I haven't seen you in so long. And I go, COVID, right? But it was like, I dipped a few months before, like I kind of lost it, you know? So I was grateful for COVID in that way, where you can use it as an excuse to like, wow, crazy that, where has my mind been? You know, the restart of it. But I even like, it was a few days ago, I was talking to somebody and they were like, how was your summer? And I was like, oh, you know, with COVID, it finally feels like, you know, with the pandemic, it finally feels like it's like.
You mean like this past summer?
Yeah, like this summer. I'm like, I finally feel like it's like, oh, it was like a summer almost. It felt like that almost. And they were like, that was 2 summers ago. Like last summer was the normal summer for everybody. But I feel like this summer wasn't even quite there yet.
Yeah.
So
this
yeah.
summer went by so fast, and then we just snapped into winter super quick. We had no
dude,
fall.
I know, and the winter's gonna be bad, dude. Russia's coming, dude. You know.
How do you mean?
Well, they're waiting for the snow to
Winter-wise?
fall, you know, and then that's their habitat. It's like I don't know, you know what I'm saying though. You've seen the James Bond movies. You've played at least the games, right? You know
Yeah,
the
dude,
levels.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, dude. Winter level, dude.
Bro, what was
Russians.
it? It was the blue game. What game was that on Nintendo 64 where the game was blue? I forget which one that was.
I don't know about a blue one, but I remember GoldenEye, obviously.
Yeah.
I remember the blue one though.
Great games. And the VR coming out, man, I don't know what's going to happen with the shooting games and everything. The kids who are growing up when we were growing up, I mean, did not really have a sense that I feel like the world is huge and you can do so many things. Now, like kids growing up, they're just focused on their TV, man.
I know,
Playing
it's
shooting
tough,
games.
man. Yeah, I got nieces and nephews. My girl's got a kid, and it's how do you tell them to not do it when it's everybody's online?
Are you a stepdad?
I mean, you know, I'm a step boyfriend. You know what I mean?
How's
Yeah.
that been?
It's all right. Yeah, I think because it's the step boyfriend, and because like I'm 10 years younger than my girlfriend. And so the kid is, I can't do math, but she's like, you know, like 15 years out. Like, no, I think I was in high school. I was like a senior in high school when she was born is the idea behind it. And so I remember things clearly. Like now she's in high school and it's like, oh, I remember high school very well. So it's much easier to be like, what's up? As opposed to being disconnected or pretending to be disconnected.
Do you find yourself having to grow up faster because you kind of have a kid around always?
I mean, I should, right? There should be that reason. Look, I make dinner all the time, you know, shit like that. Like there's things like that I would never do. So yeah.
You guys live together in Jersey City?
Yeah, we live together. And so that's what I was, so with COVID, everybody split and then rent just like dropped like crazy. And so we got this place, this 2-bedroom apartment, and it's all right. And now, you know, and now the prices have changed and everybody's back and things are expensive, but we're still lucky for now.
How far is your walk to the PATH train?
12 minutes?
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, no, man, because 12 is 8. I'm saying 12 because that's what the phone says. That's what the phone says.
Yeah, you're
it's
an
fucking
8 guy.
7, dude. I'm chilling.
Bro. I'll see like 32-minute walk to the
skipping.
Lower East
Dude.
Side. I'm like 27. Dude. Easy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, I smoke a joint to the train. I'm like the happiest. It's the best. Yeah.
What about that Uber, though? You ever have to take the Uber back home?
Yeah, I was actually just telling it because this just happened. This is so...
And it's a toll situation, too, right?
Well, the Uber... So, toll there... Like in, you know what I'm saying? Like to go into the city, to go out of the city, there's no toll. So I don't think you have to pay an Uber or anything. I don't know how the Uber fee works. I'm not too concerned about it. We have a car. We do have a car.
Oh, that's great.
But then there's the Easy Pass situation and shit. But the thing with the Uber is, so my girlfriend, when we first started dating, I told her that when you roll up the windows, okay, here's the story. So we were driving the Holland Tunnel on our first date, and I said, you got to roll up the windows because you could pass out, you know? Okay. No, I said you could pass out in the...
Oh, you mean in the tunnel?
In the tunnel.
Dude, how come nobody knows about that?
Because it's not that true. It's like you could get dizzy, you know, but we've heard it from our parents.
Yeah.
And so it was like life or death. And so, you know, it's this girl I took on a date, and so I'm like, I'll fucking act like I know a thing. I'm like, you got to roll up the window. This is a big deal. Now it's fucking almost 6 years later, and I've noticed every time we drive through tunnels, she rolls that shit up quick.
Bro, I feel like once people learn that, people are quick to adjust.
Yeah, she does it quick.
Like, dude, taking off the shoes in the apartment, you came right in, took off the shoes. I was like, let's go, Scott.
And she's like gotten snippy with me too, like if I don't do it immediately, where I know she thinks we're going to pass out, right? Yes. So she's riding home the other night in a fucking Uber, right? Exactly that. In an Uber, and I'm on the phone with her, and she goes, excuse me, can you roll up the windows? Because they're about to go through the tunnel. And he said no to her, dude. He said no, which that's crazy, by the way. I thought you had to listen to all the rules.
Yeah, me too.
Especially the window rules, like the easiest rule. Can you roll up the window? No. I'm calling the cops. Like I feel violated. now I'm a hostage. But anyway, in her head, she thinks she's about to pass out. So he said no, and she fucking snapped on this dude. She was just like, you don't even know what the fuck's about to happen to us. We could pass out. You've been driving. She like snapped on him. He said sorry, rolled up the windows and all that shit. And now he's driving around yelling at passengers who want the windows down. But there's passengers who want the windows down through the tunnel who he's going to yell at now. He's going to say, we're going to pass out.
I wonder within the last few years if they've made some air filtrification adjustments. Like even since COVID, you know, all these new theaters or these theaters are talking about how they have these new systems, new air systems, and
they're just like poking holes in the ceilings.
Whatever the shit it is, like restaurants, like, oh, we have a new air filtration system. I wonder if some of that went to the
no way. They like put a fan in a certain direction.
Well, recently didn't they recently redo it, or they're in the middle of redoing the tunnel.
Is this true?
I don't know. Maybe like
that's why they're closed at like 10:30 at night. You can't get in from the Holland Tunnel anymore.
Yeah, I think that
because I'll have like an 11 o'clock spot, and that's when I go, ooh, I'd like to take the car because dude, you get in fucking 16 minutes. You know what I mean?
And good parking too at that time.
Oh yeah, dude, you're chilling. Parking in the city, no, Manhattan parking sucks.
Okay.
But if you do move to Brooklyn or something, you can bring your car.
How does it look though in Jersey City? You park on the street?
Yeah, park.
And you never really have issues doing that?
No, but today we got a ticket, but that's because we weren't thinking, you know.
What was the ticket for?
We just weren't thinking. We had like I didn't eat yet today. We like woke up and made a decision that we were like gonna go hard on a bag of coffee we bought. We were like, this coffee's different, and by that we just like we were having more of it, and so we were reacting different, you know. But we really just like went in on a bag of coffee. I can't explain it. It was a weird morning today, and then around like 2 o'clock, I was like, our fucking car, and we got a $58.
Speaking about forgetting things, I guess we'll switch the topic to. I have a question about New Jersey and their weed laws. Are there a lot of dispensaries popping up?
So, dude, first off, we've been doing weed for like ever. We had medicinal marijuana for the longest time because
Jersey.
Yeah, because this kid Danny I went to high school with, he had like cancer. That's a terrible thing. But I remember online he would talk about like all the weed he was smoking. And I just always thought it was the funniest. Like I had a bit about it. Like it's just the funniest thing to brag about how you get to smoke weed. He was a kid, man. I mean, God, looking back.
So when you were in high school?
No, we were out of high school. But he had to have died before he was 21, maybe, I want to say. Like crazy. I could be wrong. He could have been 24. He was good dude and everything, but I remember he'd be online like, you know, all happy that he was smoking weed.
MySpace and shit?
Yeah, Facebook, I guess at the time, yeah, and you know, yeah, and just it's like, no, dude, you have cancer, don't brag about it. But yeah, we can all smoke weed now. They're being a little weird, so like all the stores sell it, but a store got in trouble selling it.
It's like New York kind of too right now.
Dude, New York, which by the way, especially this area, brother, just walk down the street
joke.
And they're just selling it.
Yeah.
It's like that in Jersey City too. They'll like sit on the thing, hey, weed. But this, I never bought. I'll buy from a bodega in Jersey City and I trust it. I bought a $10 joint from one of these knuckleheads on the street.
Can't trust it, right?
I enjoyed myself. Now look, it burnt like a motherfucker. It disappeared. But you go, I'm spending $10 to just make this disappear right now, and man, I felt good.
And also some of the things like when if I were to buy just a random joint from a bodega or a guy off the street, I'd rather be like a little bit high than way too fucking high.
Sure.
Like if you go into a medical dispensary in California or even some of the dispensaries here, and they sell you a joint and you don't really know how you're going to react to it, it's way better just to be a little bit buzzed than super high.
It's also fun just lighting a joint in the road, like walking down the street with a joint. I was never that guy.
Yeah,
it sucks because like I would have smoked a joint when it was illegal, but I started smoking weed when it was already totally okay, and that's just cuz.
So when did you start smoking weed?
Like the first time I smoked weed was I got a goodie bag at the Comedy Store, 2018 or something like that. You know.
What about drinking?
Drinking I started during the pandemic, maybe a month before the pandemic, which is crazy. I never had a sip of alcohol before.
Why?
Yeah, maybe a month before the pandemic.
Drinking and smoking.
Smoking, it was, I got it in a goodie bag. I was in LA and I just felt free. Like I was in a controlled situation where I've always been the one driving home or doing this or doing, you know, I don't know. I never felt like free enough to do a thing, and I never wanted to drink before. But I was always open to the idea of being high. It just needed to be the right moment.
Drinking and being high, or
no
more
drinking?
So?
I was against it, and I never wanted to do it. But then you get high, and you go, "What are you, an idiot? Go drink." You know, I didn't want to drink because my father drank as a kid, and you get these ideas in your head of like, for all the children who sit up at night because someone's drunk at home, like I won't have a sip. And then you go, no, I'm my own man, and I can drink a thing and not react to it in any particular way.
Well, were you worried that you might potentially have issues with drinking?
I wasn't even worried about that. I just genuinely was like, that's a thing I will never do because someone I know did it, and it affected everything so negatively that like, fuck that, you know, like just like you treat it like a person, fuck that guy. And that's what it was like, nah, fuck that guy. I'm not dealing with that guy ever. I'm never going to deal with him. And then eventually you're like, I don't know. Well, I can have my own relationship with this thing.
High school parties and college parties and seeing comics drink. That's never.
No, I never cared, especially because comics were always like 10 years older than me. So I never gave a shit. I was always being silly anyway. Like comics just want to be silly. And so it's like, well, I can do that. You know, most people need to be drunk to like loosen up. I was already loose. And so that's what, like with weed, when I started smoking weed, I was like, oh my God, it made me feel like I was 23 again, you know, like it made me feel like young, like I used to feel. It didn't make me go, people used to accuse me of being high all the time. And they go, you're high. My whole life, you're fucking high. And I'd be like, what the hell? You know, they weren't even angry with me. They would even just be like, oh, Scott's high, or oh, Scott's whatever. And then I got high and I understood it. I was like, oh, this is how I felt, you know, maybe my whole life up until like, there was like 3 years of being like miserable. And then I smoked weed and I was like, oh shit, that's how I used to feel. That's not high. That's like a real feeling. So like every time I get high, I go, oh yeah, I'm high because my eyes are bloodshot and because of this. But like the way I'm acting is just me. I know that because I was old enough to do, you know, I didn't start smoking when I was 12. Like I know who I was. And then I know I lost that person. And then I know I smoked weed and I found that person again. That's not, you understand? That's not being high. That's like a drug giving you either permission because I've become too much of a tight ass, or, you know, my brain races too much and it's allowed me to whatever.
No, I think that's funny you mentioned that, because I remember the days of being 11 and 12 and kids would joke like, oh, Ted's high, or
yeah,
oh,
you go, what the
like,
fuck does that even mean? Yeah, you go, what does that even mean? Too much
energy.
Yeah,
and then you look back on it,
you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Coke was never for me. It was always like a great 30 minutes and then the worst 3 days of my life.
Never.
Yeah, don't ever.
I'm afraid I'd love it. Like I watch the Robin Williams stuff and I go like, damn, I understand. Everyone goes, oh, Robin Williams was all coked up all the time. And that's like a funny thing. Like you look at him and you go like, oh, he was coked up. I mean, for a certain amount of time, he was coked up, right? Like there's the whole thing about apparently when he filmed Rick and Morty, the audience would go, they would film twice a day, something. And it was pretty much you would just go because you were getting an extra hour of Robin being a maniac. Like he was just coked up on set. And he would just crush. Like what would take 45 minutes to film would take 3 hours, and it's just Robin Williams crushing. And every time they would do it, you would just go see this maniac, you know? And I hear that and I see that and I go, damn, that's cool. Like I get that. Like I understand the assist of the cocaine. Like, have you ever seen Robin Williams perform? Like, do you think some people think it sucks. I look at it and I go like, God damn, that's so much energy. That's amazing.
Not that I can refer back to.
Yeah. So people shit on him because they go, oh, he stole jokes. And I go, okay, I understand that. But the energy of Robin Williams is like pure joy. And that's amazing. And to know that you can access that through Coke, like that's Coke. You watch Robin Williams, you go, that's cocaine. And if I could be at all like Robin Williams on cocaine, I would kill myself doing cocaine. He makes Coke look awesome, I guess is what I'm saying.
Did he do Coke for a number of years? I didn't know this. Like,
oh yeah, so Robin Williams at like peak like stand up was a cokehead, right? Like Robin Williams in like the 70s was a cokehead. I don't think in the 90s, like serious actor Robin Williams, I don't think was a drug addict.
Like Flubber.
I think he was I think he was just dealing with depression and stuff, you know, because of lack of Coke probably. Right, well, I imagine, yeah. But I know, you know, initial killing it Robin Williams is a cokehead, yeah.
I wonder, do you still think that there are comics like that are working right now that we know?
Which is crazy. They're just better at doing Coke than Robin Williams.
You mean hiding it?
Yeah. Yeah, or they just don't have that wavelength. I think whatever that wavelength of like Robin Williams excitement, I've gotten like that. When you ever have like a great night and then you're just so excited you can't control it? That's like Robin Williams. When you watch Robin Williams, you're like, oh, this is manic. It's manic. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think comics can, no. I think most comics do Coke. I've been shocked at how many comics do Coke. Yeah, usually I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how many comics are buzzed before they go on stage.
Yeah, and a lot of comics are still drinking on stage, which I never really was able to grasp.
I've tried to, and I'm just not good at it. Like my brain is too, again, I just started doing it during the pandemic.
Drinking?
Yeah, and so maybe I've tried to drink on stage 3 times, and it does loosen you up, but it also trips you up. and then
Yeah,
I'm
like
worth it.
punchlines and stuff. That's how I felt about drinking before a set, smoking weed too early before a set, and then also eating too closely before
I don't
a
eat
set.
before sets, dude.
Yeah,
it's
I
crazy.
really don't. Like
it's like ruin my diet.
3+ hours
Yeah.
before a set. Like I will basically focus my afternoon around not smoking, not eating, or not drinking at least 3 hours before that set. Just because I know that if I eat too much, then the energy in my body is focused on breaking down the food and not clear thinking
That's
about
a
the
real
next
thing too, man. People don't
think about it.
Yeah, people go like, oh, because you're nervous. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's part of it. I don't want a nervous stomach and I feel like I want to throw up or shit my pants or something. But the other part of it is if you're full, why would you work? Like, what's that animal part of you that wants to go out there and do anything? Why don't you want to go to sleep?
I'm on hour 43 right now of a fast.
No, I can't do that. That's not what I'm talking
so
about.
We have the Jewish holiday coming up.
Rosh Hashanah?
No, Yom Kippur.
Yom
where we
Kippur.
fast. But that's starting tonight at 7:30 to tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm doing a vlog. I didn't eat for 69 hours.
How's that even allowed?
So I'm doing that.
And 69 just because it's funny?
Yeah,
like,
it's
what if
funny.
the funny one was 120?
Thank you, dude.
God damn.
Thank you for realizing that. Well, also 69 because it would have been 72 hours if it was 10:30 at night on Wednesday.
Okay.
So we're breaking the fast at 7:30 on Wednesday.
And it's just
so I
lots
just
of
do
water?
62 hours. Water, black coffee, and a little bit of weed. Yeah, and I feel super freaking clear.
And the weed helps.
Yeah, dude, it helps me like curb my mind because
Really?
otherwise I'd just be focused on.
The weed makes me hungry, though.
Well, sometimes I think it could go the other way though. You know, like if you focus the energy instead of on food, it can help you kind of navigate other ways, especially when there's no food to be had.
How are you feeling? Are the
mood wise?
Yeah.
Like 3 hours ago, I was like, all right, this is terrible. But then I know that since I'm telling you, I've told some of my friends and I told the vlog cam, most importantly, that I'm going to do it.
You'll stick with it.
I got to do it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
I intermittent fast here and there, maybe like once every 3.5 weeks or so. I won't eat for 24 hours. And I'm a vegan too. So
that's how long you've been doing that?
Pretty on my health game since I had jaw surgery about 3.5 years ago. I had a broken jaw in 3 places because I had an ingrown, like my jaw on one side of my face was growing further than the other. So I had gum line on one side of my face depleting. And the orthodontist, the surgeon just went in there and reconnected my jaw. I had like a crooked bite, man. So it was depleting on one side. And having that surgery, I wasn't able to eat anything chewy or meat or chicken, whatever, for the most part for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was just like, all right, I'll eat fruit, oatmeal. And then since then, I've been almost fully vegan. So like a year and a half ago, I gave up fish, but been vegan for the most part for a long time, man.
And benefits, yes. Otherwise, you would stop.
Health wise, I mean, it's great that we're
Has
not
it
killing
reversed
animals.
anything? I think that's where I'm at now because I would love to do a thing like that, but I don't feel well often, you know. And I go, do I just have to go to the hospital?
Yeah, well, if you think about
or do I just need to start being healthy and things will actually reverse?
Well, we were just talking about how, you know, not eating before going on stage, it allows your body to focus the energy on, you know, jokes and stuff like that.
Also, dude, my belly goes like that. I don't know about you.
If you think about if you stop eating, like your body will get rid of all those toxic stuff that's been in your body for years. And then it's kind of the same thing with eating plants or not eating dead animals because it gives you dead energy. It's just kind of like, if you think about it from like a whole perspective of like worldly things, you don't want something that's dead to be in your body because then it will give you dead energy.
Vibes.
You know, if you eat something that's
get
alive,
that on some level,
and I don't like to eat things with
if
a mother.
If anything's real,
and a
it's
face.
fucking energy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's been
I'm
great.
on board.
I have an easier time being in Manhattan, thankfully, with all the options. But there are options in Jersey City, obviously. But it's not like we're living in, you know, the middle of Kansas where our options are very limited. And then the only restaurant is steak and mashed potatoes.
My real problem is it's the comedy thing of, you know, not really even focusing on the food throughout the day, and then you have your night and it's 11 p.m. and you had maybe one meal for breakfast and now you're like, fuck, I gotta eat.
Oh, you think about...
And there's nothing open.
Do you eat a lot sporadically, too?
Oh, brother, I eat fast food like a maniac just because it's... I'm walking down the street and it's like,
easy,
oh, quick...
tastes fucking good.
Quick burger, dude. It's always on the way home. Again, I can't be out doing these things.
And it's late, too, right?
Yeah, it's always late. What do? You have to prepare, and that sucks. But like my sister's a vegan. I believe she's still a vegan.
Oh, wow.
But she's like a big French fry girl. She'll eat French fries like a motherfucker, you know? But that's not good for you either.
I think it's just a matter of understanding how the machine works. You know, like in your car, you don't want to put shitty gas.
Sure,
you'll
sure.
put regular gas, but once you get a nicer car, you can put nicer gas in, right?
How much weight did you initially drop? I mean, the surgery probably just knocked you out.
Yeah,
like
dude,
crazy.
surgery was like 20 pounds
Yeah.
right away, like within the first 2.5, 3 weeks. But I think from that point forward, gained 10 back of that. But all things considered, probably 15 pounds of bad, just flabby alcohol, shitty. Because I used to eat McDonald's almost every single day too.
Yeah.
You know, for the breakfast and the dinner. And I wouldn't say that it's so much about what you eat. It's kind of just about when you eat.
Coffee doesn't
too.
destroy your guts?
No, black coffee.
Yeah, I drink black coffee.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fuck with you.
If I have like a large meal the night before, I know that if I go to Starbucks, like it'll be a good clearing out of my system just because it's like a super strong coffee.
Sure.
But besides that, man, no, I love drinking coffee. I love it. Really.
Even your whole life, it was okay to drink coffee, or when you
Not
would eat
black.
like shit?
Not black.
Okay.
I switched to black coffee when I was in high school. My girlfriend, who was a model at the time, like didn't have any milk or sugar in her coffee, so she ended up just getting 2 black ones. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll switch to that. Whatever.
Yeah, I started drinking coffee when I was 27. I remember
You're a late bloomer for a few things,
I remember,
except for comedy.
I remember I had it, and one, I drink it black because it's like I only want it for the use of waking up. I don't want it to be a joy, because the first thing I did have was like a goddamn mocha, whatever, you know?
The sugar.
It was the greatest thing I've ever had in my life. I remember it was also, I never really had a laptop. You know, Erin Lennox, she bought me a laptop when I first moved to this. She's a comic. That was very sweet of her. But I never had like my own laptop, and I had my own laptop. And I was like, I'm going to get a coffee and be an adult. I'm 27. I opened my laptop.
You went to the coffee shop?
No, I didn't even do that. But I bought my coffee, and it was the first time I ever had it. It was a Starbucks something. And I remember going, holy fuck, I've been tired for 5 years. Like, it hit me. The being awake of it all. I was like, I have been walking around sleepy forever, dude. It was insane. And that first year of coffee was it was an amazing year for me.
You still drink Starbucks?
No, it hurts me now. It like fucks up my stomach and stuff. Even regular coffee. And I told you, we went through a bag of coffee today, and I drank it black, and it destroys me.
Well, have you ever fasted?
No, and I need to.
What's the longest you think you've ever gone? I'm sure when you've been sick
I'll tell you
for
this,
24 hours.
Yeah. And there was moments where, like, you know, when I lived in Sunset. You live by yourself?
Yeah, just me.
There's something easier about fasting when you live by yourself.
Totally. It's less distractions, bro.
Like again, like I got this kid that I got to cook for
cooking,
too,
filet
you know?
mignon or whatever
yeah, or
you
like, you know,
enjoy
also
eating.
with the bad decisions, like the idea of like, oh no, I'm okay not eating a full meal. I could go make the little random thing, and then like a 15-year-old being like, hey, well, I would like a full meal. You know, you're like, fuck, now I got to figure out a full meal. Like that's not fun. But what were we talking about?
Fasting. I asked you fasting.
Yeah. So I used to work at a slaughterhouse, and all those guys, like I worked at not like one of those factory ones. I worked at like a mom and pop, it was a guy's family business, you know? It was like on his house's property. The backyard was a slaughterhouse. And
with live animals or just
livestock?
Dead?
Yeah, no livestock. Yeah. And I never killed any animals or anything, but everybody that went there were like a certain type of, you know, well, they were Muslims, and I don't think any Jews came, but, you know, it was like a lot of the people that came, it had to be kosher, killed a certain way, shit like that, you know, and they would fast all the time, and I was always amazed because it felt constant. It felt like 5 times a year they were doing something, you know, and it lasts forever. They have one thing. I'm just talking out of my people who know the fact. Some group of people, some type of people, religious. It's like a month where every day you just don't fucking eat. It's insane.
It is interesting how, I guess within the last few years, people are slowly starting to realize that fasting is a thing. When you used to...
It's a story. It's like YouTube stories.
Yeah, dude.
That's what it is. It's like the health stuff, and then all of a sudden it's Joe Rogan clips
Remember,
of guys
like
talking
5
about
years
fasting.
ago, if girls said that they weren't eating lunch or eating dinner for the day, you'd be like, oh, anorexic.
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's just intermittent fasting.
Yeah, but anorexia was like a crazy... I'm sure that still exists very much, but that was wild for a while, where I remember like my older sister... She wasn't, but I remember all of her friends were, you know what I mean? Like that was a epidemic, the anorexia thing. But But yeah, you're right. What's the net? What were we just talking about
Before that,
Yeah,
fasting.
fasting is the thing. Everybody's fasting. All the celebrities are doing it.
Yeah, dude.
Rob Lowe. It's why he looks the way he does, right?
You have a hint of Rob Lowe in
Oh,
you.
yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
No, I don't know. No way.
No, a
Maybe
little
his
bit,
hair.
dude. Pop him up.
Yeah, pump me up, Rob Lowe. But yeah, all those people, but also, you ever meet a celebrity in person? They're all so tiny, and it is from things like that.
I went to a movie premiere. This thing is coming on Netflix, I think, like this coming week. The Luckiest Girl Alive with Mila Kunis.
No shit,
It should be on Netflix either October 4th, which is literally today, or October 7th. So guys, check out Netflix. It's a crazy movie. There should be a trigger warning on it because there's a school shooting and a gang rape in it, and there wasn't a trigger warning. And dude, I hate movies like this.
Yeah,
I went
I
into
can
the
do that.
theater and I was like, what the fuck am I even watching? I almost walked out. But in talking about actresses and actors being short, she was extremely short, and the actors in the movie were short as well.
Yeah, they're all very tiny. Well, who is it? The actor where they would have to like dig holes into the ground for him to act with
Dustin
people?
Hoffman, maybe?
Is
That
it?
sounds like something.
No, I don't
that
know.
happened with him. No, I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe Clint Eastwood. The way they would film certain
Well, he's
things
tall.
because
He's
he's super tall. Exactly.
Oh,
So
yeah,
all
they
the
made other
actors,
comics like
he would be
standing on a
shorter.
box.
Yeah. Madness.
Yeah,
but no,
man.
I would love to intermittent fast. It feels like something that would make me feel,
Bro,
like,
please, any questions that you
clarity.
have about
Yeah.
intermittent fasting,
Well, I
eating
guess
a little bit better,
I was
you
gonna
just
say,
ask
what do you
me,
eat
bro.
during it? That's how
you
little
wanna
I
eat,
know.
I'll hit you up.
That's how little I know. I was like, what do you eat during intermittent fasting? But you literally, I mean, you can't have anything, right? It's just tea,
Black coffee,
black coffee.
smoking a little weed, and
get
water, and seltzer.
What about like vaping?
Yeah, you're probably good with the vape. As long
What
as
is
it,
even
as long
that?
as it doesn't trigger, I think, the fat cells.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I
okay.
mean? So-
Chewing on ice cubes, does that trigger?
No,
fat
that's
cells
good.
are
That's
stupid,
water.
right? Don't they get confused though?
Yeah, they're like, whoa, fuck, this is
They go, he's
delicious.
chewing.
No, as long as it's not like sugared water, you're fine.
okay,
But just the
okay.
basic things: seltzer, water,
No shit. All right.
black coffee,
Yeah.
and freaking weed.
No, I need to. I would love to. I got flab. I don't take my shirt off anymore.
Bro, the first 24 hours, I'd say, is the hardest. Next 24, not as hard.
That
And then
sounds
apparently,
I've
the
never even
next day
heard
is
of this,
tough.
by the way, dude.
I know, bro. We'll see.
I thought you die. I thought the rule was you die.
No, you're good. Dude. But think about how many people don't eat for
Sure,
weeks
sure.
at a time.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Points in our history of humanity.
Yeah,
you
as long
gotta
as they
wake
have
up
their
the next
water
day,
and,
go freaking hunt for your food.
But then you have to reintroduce yourself to food kindly.
So I will be hitting grapes or watermelon, blueberries
Grapes.
the first meal back, and then I'll get into the carbs,
Really?
the rices, the
Okay.
seitan, tofu,
And then
stuff like
within
that.
24 hours, you can have a
Back
steak,
to it,
right?
bro?
Fuck it.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't.
You won't? Oh, yes, because you're vegan. Gosh.
But besides that, I mean, your body will get right back into it, and
man.
your body loves food.
Well, I would love to be a
you'll
vegan.
Never forget that.
It's just tough. Also, but you also feel like you have your frame, and that's a good
Yeah,
frame.
yeah.
I'm convinced. I'm 32, but I'm convinced I'm gonna I'm not done yet.
How do you mean?
Like I still have more mass to build
To work out?
before I make health. Like I need meat. No, I don't work out, but I need meat because I gotta gain muscle eventually when I decide to do that. And so I continued, but that's not. Can you be a vegan and gain mass?
Yeah,
You can.
I'll take off my top here. Not my full shirt.
Well, no, I know you're a mass guy, but were you a mass guy and then you luckily lost some weight and now because there's these fat motherfuckers walking around and then you go, please don't lose weight because these fat guys when they lose weight they're fucking ripped. They got the biggest arms in the world.
Yeah.
I hate that because they've been carrying around their fat asses this whole time. Now they get to be jacked.
Honestly, I think
You got
that,
the biggest calves
I
in the
think-
world.
Yeah, dude, that's also a thing. People with mass.
Yeah, dude, fat
I'm a
guys lose
tennis
weight.
player, bro, so I appreciate good calves.
Yeah, I get
I played
that.
at UConn, and that was why I went to the professional children's school.
Okay.
So I thought that tennis was going to be my end all be all. I wanted to go pro. So I was always kind of in my mind, I always had the right mentality and, you got to work out. Oh, and you got to eat well. It's not like I did it in
In
college.
tennis, you work out different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's so much easier now just being, I don't want to say a grown adult, but being 30 years old and kind of knowing what I can eat and will make me feel good on the vegan scale too. I know if I have a grain bowl or something like that from Just Salad or Fresh & Co., I'll feel great afterwards. But I know that if I have dirty nachos, a cheeseburger, and French fries, I might not feel so great afterwards.
Sure. Oh, I'm aware of that. Yeah. But now another thing, is this true? Because people say this and I go, you're fucking lying. Where say you love junk food. I love junk food, right? Dude, I almost got a Hershey bar. I would have been 10 minutes late for a Hershey bar, dude. You know what I mean? But like, I love always having a little chocolate something.
Yeah, dude, a little something sweet, especially after dinner.
Dude, every day I eat chocolate. There's no way I don't. And so people will tell me, oh no, say you stop eating chocolate and you eat nuts. Eventually you'll eat like a grape and you go like, ooh, this is amazing. Like
your taste buds change.
Yes. Is there anything as good as chocolate though? That's what I mean. Like, will I eventually taste cardboard and go, no, it's just as good?
I mean, vegan chocolate, man. You just got to find the right people who have made it. I think it's when you're comparing the best cheeseburger you've ever had to a really good Impossible Burger or really good Beyond Burger. It does taste like it. And if you're there eating it, enough, you forget about the things that maybe when you eat a Hershey's chocolate, your skin feels oily or you feel a step slower. When you eat the vegan chocolate, you won't feel a little bit oily. You won't feel a step slower because it doesn't have the ingredients that fucks your shit up.
Did you grow up eating well, eating poorly?
Not really. I would always kind of venture off to the McDonald's, when I was like 12, 13. Yeah. My mom would cook chicken at night, fried chicken. I never like ate well as a kid, like health wise. But I think after college and not having, like when I was in college, I was working out every single day, being on the tennis team. But after college, I didn't have like the mindset to be like, all right, let's go to the gym to try and stay fit. I'd be like, all right, let's continue this college lifestyle, binge drinking, smoking nugget, being out till 4 a.m. when I had work the next day at 9 a.m. So I think having the diet and having just kind of my overall mindset being like, all right, I know what's bad for me. It's just helped me feel better. And also comedy wise, probably too, it's helped me, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. If I'm being healthy, I'm better on stage always, or at least that day. If I make bad health decisions throughout the day,
it just makes it easier for your body's
and that's
energy
all health
to break
decisions.
It down.
That's even working out. It does suck for someone like me who doesn't work out often though, because every time I do, I'll start up working out for a week, but then you have just because your arms are shaky all the time. So you grab a mic and it's like, no, I'm not nervous. I just started working out again, dude. My apologies.
And it's the same thing with diet though, too. When you do start, in my opinion, when you do start the working out, you also got to do the diet. Because to me, in general, man, I think diet is 70%.
Everybody says that, right? It's got to be true.
I think so, man.
It's also probably easier to work out when you don't have all this shit in you that's making you feel
dude, I woke up freaking roaring, ready to go.
Oh, dude, I've convinced myself that depression is just from snacks, I'm so...
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Oh, why, you've been saying shit like this?
No, but I mean, it makes sense.
Dude, I'm out here
and shit.
Yeah, dude, there's no way that... Yeah, the dark cloud is it's Skittles, man.
Yeah, our gut is our second brain. They say, if not the first.
And the really bad thing, and I don't even know who to tell this to, to warn. There's no children listening, but when you grow up, because I grew up with snacks around all the time. I always had crunch bars and Snickers and ice cream and always Doritos. I remember my friends would be like, what the fuck are you doing eating Doritos? It's 9 a.m., You just always. And I'm not I'm not unhealthy, but I do eat poorly, right? But a lot of it is because when you're feeling low, it's not that I'm an anxious eater. I'm not an anxious eater. I starve myself when I'm nervous. That's also part of the stage thing. It's I'm a little anxious about tonight. I don't want to eat, But when you're feeling low and you have nothing to do, those shitty foods remind you of being a child. It's nostalgic, dude. I'll eat a Crunch Bar and it's oh, innocence, you have Doritos and it reminds you of your dad being alive. Nothing beats that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who to tell that to, but if you are a kid listening, I hope you're not, but avoid the food, not because you can you can be healthy someday, but it's you're gonna become addicted to it for another reason. It's because it does make you feel good. Maybe eat the apple now, so when you eat an apple when you're an adult, it'll remind you of a good time.
Bro, I freaking love apples,
that,
man.
You can, but you know what I'm saying? You can, if you worked out since you were young, I'm so jealous of these fucking guys who did football in high school. So when they work out now, it reminds them of being in high school. That's fucking crazy. When I was in high school, I drove around in my car and busted everybody's balls. So there's no benefit of, I feel like a kid again when I'm being an asshole.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
The Happy Meal used to be nostalgic for me that way.
Okay, dude, but you see what they're doing with the goddamn Happy Meal now? They're putting nostalgic toys in it for adults. You can buy a Happy Meal now because you get a nostalgic toy. They just announced it like 2 days ago.
What, did they put it like Sean Connery
They're
in the
gonna
box
put.
or something?
What did we used to get? I don't even remember. NASCARs.
Yeah, or weird
The Batman mug. Did you get the Batman Forever, the frozen mugs?
Vaguely, maybe.
Oh, dude, loved it, man.
It's these corporations are very, very tricky when they come to their marketing schemes. As his Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, they know what you want to watch, man.
Dude,
All it is a thumb click away. I think that, you look at Hulu, you look at Netflix, Amazon, they have these great shows on it, but to watch the entire series, it's going to take you a few hours. And if you're not paying fully attention and you're on your phone, you got to rewind it. That's why it's so easy just to be scrolling.
I don't watch any shows. I'm so glad my girlfriend watches shows so I can like check in on them and I know enough about them.
Are they so good?
Dude, I can have a conversation about every show just because she watches it. I don't watch any of them. And it's not even I don't have the time. It is because I like looking down at my phone. Like I don't have the time to pause to then scroll through my phone for 15 minutes and then go back to it.
Yeah. It's distracting.
Yeah.
Scott, dude, thank you so much for coming on the freaking podcast.
I'm gonna do vegan shit. Yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
We have had some people come on the podcast be like, oh, I want to try and go vegan and stuff, but I've never followed up really or seen people.
What's like a first week's worth, grocery shopping? What do I need to do? There we go. First week of grocery shopping.
So I think that you want to get a few proteins that will make you not,
make me happy.
Venture off to steak and stuff. So I'd say like for the person first time going vegan, I'd say enjoy yourself, man. Like you should be ordering an Impossible Burger.
Buddy,
you should be eating.
You lost me already. I don't want to be vegan. I don't even want to do this episode anymore.
Okay, and then
enjoy yourself. Impossible Burger.
Rice.
I don't like avocado too. That's the other thing. People go, "Ooh, avocado! It's so smooth. It's like the worst cream cheese ever."
How do you feel about salads?
If the dressing's good, I like a salad. I'm like a crouton guy. It sucks, dude. My taste buds are shot. I gotta be as lucky as you and get in some sort of surgery situation.
Exactly. Fruits are the first thing.
Fruits.
You got to get into
sugar.
the fruits.
Because motherfuckers tell you that too. They go, you can't eat fruit.
No,
eventually, you can't eat fruit though. Right?
No, bro.
That's bad for you.
No, dude. You can eat as much fruit as you want.
What if I heard if you blend the fruit, it's bad.
I actually heard that too recently.
Sucks, right? What is this?
Who said that? Was that Joey Diaz said that on a podcast?
I've heard it from my sister.
I saw that. I don't know if I believe that, but I heard it's you real, go to fruits, you go to the Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, you're gonna love it, man.
Apple juice is bad for you, right?
Yeah, well, but that's a sugary concentrated drink. It's not like you're squeezing the apple and putting it over the cup. You're trusting Mott's to put 30 other different ingredients. It's the same shit. You're right. That orange juice, Tropicana. If you're squeezing the orange out, just getting the juice, it's good. But when you get these concentrated stuff,
well, I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm on
we're the fasting bros.
I'm on a
today.
something fast. Yeah,
it's great, man. Break the fast with some fruit, though. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, I'm going to
try. Get some grapes. Get an apple on the way out of here.
On the corner.
I would love to see.
I'll send you a picture. Legit. Yeah.
Scott, again, Scott Chaplain, bro. That really turned into a great episode.
Peace.